Abundance of spirit. It's a feeling. Today we're looking at gate 55, abundance, the gate of spirit in human design. And this week in the transits is going to be affecting us collectively, February 20th to 24th. So let's explore what this gate means, and then I'll share a channeled message about it. So I happen to have this gate as a very foundational part of my design. It's in the position of my design Earth, and in gene keys that would be, my genius. It's a part of my incarnation cross. So I feel like I know this gate really, really well. And what it is, it's first of all the idea that our connection with spirit is something that we feel. It's not something that we think or conceptualize. It's not something that we are instinctually aware of. It's actually a felt experience. And that felt experience is what allows us to feel full and abundant with life and with spirit, and also to feel empty and lacking. So within this gate, there's the whole spectrum of duality. There's all the way from lack and the pain of feeling empty and alone and without spirit, and to abundance, where we feel filled up. Even if we don't have material abundance, we can feel so abundant with spirit. And that's why the subheading for this gate is abundance is strictly a question of spirit. I find this for myself, and also in my work, a lot of times when people come to me, they come to me experiencing some kind of lack. It could be a lack of energy, a lack of money, a feeling like they don't have enough resources of time, of energy or money, or that they're not materially as far along as they want to be. And when I channel for them, when I fill them up with the inspiration around their chart and who they really are, they leave feeling really abundant and full. And there's really nothing on the external that has actually changed other than their own spirits have been lifted. So this is just, to me, a real truth, is that abundance is so much a question of spirit. And it's also, to me, like embedded into how I have really lived my life, is that I have been able to live as if I am a millionaire, at times with very little money, because I feel so connected with spirit, so guided by the divine in me, that I trust and that I just do the things that I know are on my life path. And I have experienced so many magical examples of the truth that abundance is strictly a question of spirit, and that I can be connected with spirit for me, which I would call God, and just follow my own path of truth and always be provided for. This gate is an individual gate, and that means it's a part of individual circuitry, which has all of the keynotes of empowerment, melancholy, mutation, creativity. So what does that mean? It means that this gate is really mutative, and in fact, like a lot of times, emotions and melancholy can bring us into some kind of change, like into a new awareness that might actually bring a shift in how we behave and what we do. It can also be very, very creative. So, the low in your emotional wave, where, everything seems hopeless and painful, is so often bringing new awareness that's creative and full of richness. That's where the best songs are written. That's where, my best creations have all arisen out of my melancholy and the deep creativity of my emotions. So the emotions, both in the low, but also, moving into the high, that's where you can share so much wealth and richness. So this is a very, very emotional and moody gate. It's a part of the channel of emoting 3955, a design of moodiness. So if you have this gate in your chart, you likely will experience quite high highs and low lows, and you're going to be going on that emotional wave. Collectively, when this is in the transit, it also means that, we're going to be emotional, probably more than usual, and the theme of feeling full of spirit as well as empty of spirit is likely to come up in your thoughts and also in your emotions. This gate, because it is a part of the cross of the sleeping phoenix, is undergoing a massive mutation as a part of this shift from the cross of planning to the cross of the sleeping phoenix in 2027. And I am really excited to learn more about this from Natalia in the upcoming masterclass that we're doing about 2027. So I'll put the link below so that you can register for that and learn all about this mutation. But this gate in particular, gate 55, is really going through a major change that will affect all of us. And I have learned about that even more in depth through the teachings of Richard Rudd in the Gene Keys. I really resonated with what he's saying about it, although I will say the chapter about gate 55 is very convoluted, or Gene Key 55 is very convoluted, and I wish it was more straightforward. But the essence of what I received from that teaching is that gate 55 in its shadow side is about victimization and being in that victim consciousness, feeling like you're at the effect of life. And in the gift and the Siddhi version, the higher frequency of that same gene key is freedom. So what happens when you step out of victimization? You become free. And so for me, I really relate to this when I'm in my low. Oftentimes I am feeling victimized, and that a big part of what happens for me in the alchemy of shifting out of that is that I step into empowerment. And I step into my own freedom and my own sovereignty. And there's usually like a huge release of energy and a release of spirit that comes with that. And so having that awareness has been really helpful, because when I get stuck in the low and I'm getting in that victim mindset, I need to have ways that I can raise myself out of that so that I come to liberation. And I see how that has played out, in my book, Alchemy of Consciousness. Like the very title of the book is about making that shift from, lack and victimhood and fear into abundance, into empowerment, into golden consciousness, as it talks about in the book. Similarly, my amazing program that I've just created called the Freedom Frequency, it's activating that shift from lack and victimhood into freedom and really living in embodiment of freedom. So I think that these themes of moving out of victimization, moving out of lack and into empowerment and self-empowerment as individuals and freedom and into a connection with spirit that's guiding us are really core themes of this hallmark change from the cross of planning to the cross of sleeping phoenix. So even though this is a transit for this week of February 22, 24th, I think it's also really a huge theme just in general over the coming years, probably for the rest of our lives. And I do see, for me personally, as someone that has this gate prominently in my chart, that I am like a living, walking mutation of this change. And, part of the process is just releasing a lot of emotions and keeping to excavate the depths of what's really in there. And it can be really challenging, especially when the emotions are very intense. And I think that has been my experience with this gate, that the intensity of the emotion is really strong. And for that, I have sought a lot of support. I always have someone that I'm paying that I can call on when I'm in that real low, so that I have that help to shift. So you might find that you need some support when you are dealing with this gate. Oh my goodness, I definitely feel that I have needed that. I see throughout all of my work and the teachings that I have, my book, Alchemy of Consciousness, which is channeled from Spirit, I channeled that book in a very difficult time where I was struggling and I was looking for answers. And that's where, through my genuine, humility to want to seek for guidance and support, I was able to have this connection with Spirit where I received a lot of guidance and really loving divine wisdom. So I think that this, this sincerity that we can bring to the pursuit of truth from what we really feel is a really solid way to connect with Spirit. And, that's something that I teach in my Clear Channel program, where I teach how to channel. It's in my book, Alchemy of Consciousness, how to establish your own direct connection with Spirit. It's really woven throughout almost all of my work, this whole notion of how important it is for us individually to find our own direct connection. So I think that's one of the core messages that I would like to share from Gate 55. So you may have noticed that my friend Natalia is not joining me today. She is a manifester, and she felt like the project was not correct for her. So she's not going to continue, at least for now, until she feels inspired to come back. But yeah, we have been finding that the pace of the sun, like the fact that we have to create these videos every few days, is kind of intense. So I would be really grateful if you would comment below and let me know if you're really enjoying this and you would like me to keep going with these videos, because it is quite a bit to create, and so I want to make sure it's worth it. And also, I'd like to be doing them as premieres, which means I'll be showing them at a specific day that you can come and join me live, and that creates more community and more buzz with the algorithm. So let me know if you'd be down for that as well. And let's get into the channel message for Gate 55, Abundance, the Gate of Spirit. So if you're in a place where you can just take a comfortable seat, go ahead and sit down, closing your eyes. Feel your sit bones connected with the ground. Let your spine rise up even more vertically. And you can even imagine your entire spine like a pinpoint in time and space, connecting you down into this moment here and now, in this time and space, exactly where you are. There is so much misguided seeking for material wealth and abundance on this planet, to the great detriment of the well-being of many people, of the planet itself, herself. So many decisions that have been made that have truly been harmful in the name of profits, in the name of material security and greed. And all the while, this desire for material wealth has been truly out of a lack of spirit and a wanting for spirit, a wanting for the abundance of spirit, because it is only out of an inner poverty that one seeks such actions that cause harm, and that one feels unsafe and insecure in this world. So the solution to insecurity, the solution to lack, is not to fill the void with buying the car, getting the good job, signing the corrupt contract, doing the harmful deeds that create destructive realities. It is through the simple connection within with your own spirit that is felt in the body as truth. Your truth is abundant. Your truth is more than enough. It is leading you on your path, and that is truly all you need to access within. But there's almost no amount of convincing that can break the spell of lack that exists as a common distortion field right now in reality. It's as if so many people have energized and given truth to this false, distorted perception that it now has become the dominant reality that so many have consented to. So there's not as much evidence, there's very little evidence that you can be okay in this world, that spirit will provide, that you can trust spirit, that you can operate from a place of inner abundance. And this is what will be shown to you in the times coming, because there will be more squeezing of resources into the place where many will be forced circumstantially to go within and seek the support and truth of their spirit. And this is not a threat. This is just a beautiful opportunity. And you can make this shift now. You don't have to wait until circumstances force you into it. You can truly feel the abundance of spirit that's available to you in the here and now. And when you do that, you never walk alone on this planet again. You always walk in truth. You're guided, you're supported, you are well, you are fed, you can trust, and you know you can trust, which gives you a great confidence, and it also makes you a beacon of light and hope and support for so many others who are under the spell of lack. Providing them with a guiding example of what is actually possible when you make a simple reorientation within to the guiding light of your inner truth. So thank you so much, and there's so many resources available for you to access this inner truth at any moment that you so choose and desire. That was so beautiful, and as I was channeling, I was seeing many different images, and it reminded me of the channeled message I received in Alchemy of Consciousness about the global grand reorganization and the coming changes, and really that it's not scary, the greater instability in this world. What is it's pointing us to is just our inner connection within. So there's an amazing practice in Alchemy of Consciousness for establishing your direct connection. So I definitely recommend that book. You can find it on Amazon. And also on my website, I do have a free MP3 guided meditation to connect directly with Source for guidance. So I will link that below so that you can get that download. And finally, I do offer a program called Clear Channel where I teach you how to channel, and it is a very simple method. It works for everybody. It's very effective, and you will establish your direct connection. It's very much guaranteed. And the reason why it is guaranteed is because we all have access to this. It's not rocket science. It's just something that we haven't been taught because of this distorted reality that we live in. So once I share those little secrets with you, then it just is, and you do it, and it works. So much love. This completes today's video, and I will see you again soon here on my channel.